Hello, welcome. Let us discuss and understand non-primitive data types in JavaScript. Let me open the Visual Studio Code and let us start practically. I will create one JavaScript file, non-primitive data types.js. Earlier, we have already discussed about primitive data types. They are simple and they are immutable. Now, let us understand what is non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data types are they are objects, or you can call it as collection of data. Non-primitive data types are objects or collection of data. Non-primitive data types can hold multiple values. Non-primitive data types are stored in heap memory and they are stored as reference. And non-primitive data types are mutable. And non-primitive data types are dynamic in size. It means they can grow and shrink dynamically. Non-primitive data types can increase and decrease in size based on the data. For example, if you add more elements to the array, array size will increase. If you remove the element from the array size will decrease. These are characteristics of non-primitive data types. Let us understand one by one list of non-primitive data types. First one is object. Object is a collection of key value pair. Object is a collection of key value pair. For example, I can say here let person equal to, person can have certain properties. For example, name, I can say Tom, and age, I can say let us say 25, something like this. You can have more properties as well. For example, address also you can add here, right? Or even you can add city. For example, city Delhi. You can add a multiple properties. This is one of the non-primitive data type. Object can be modified. It means the properties of these objects, age, name, city, can be modified, right? So it is mutable. Right now we will understand few basic things about each of the non-primitive data type. Later in the course we will discuss in detail about each of these data type, and we will also understand some of the methods that can be used to manipulate these non-primitive data types. Now let us understand different types of non-primitive data types. Second one is array. Array is nothing but ordered list of values. Arrays will have index starting from 0. For example, I can declare let fruits equal to, I can have multiple fruits in this array. For example, apple, banana, kiwi. So this is an array. Here apple is 0th index and banana is at index number 1. Kiwi is at index number 2, like this, right? You can access these values from this array using this index. We will discuss that in detail in the later part, but let us understand the different types of non-primitive data types right now. Next non-primitive data type is function. It is a block of code. Function is a block of code that can be called to perform particular task. For example, I can declare a function here, add, and I can pass the two parameters a and b here. This function will add these two numbers, let c equal to a plus b, and it will print console.log c, right? When you call this function with two parameters, it will add these two numbers and it will print the sum. In a JavaScript, functions are considered as objects. We will discuss about the functions in detail later in the course. Another non-primitive data type is date. Date represents a specific moment. Date is an object that represents specific moment. For example, I can let now equal to date. If I print console.log now, it should print the current date. And for example, node, I will run this program, node non-primitive data types.js. You can see here it has printed the current date and time. Another non-primitive data type is regular expressions. Regular expression objects are used for pattern matching in strings. For example, I will say let pattern equal to, I will call it as hello, and I will say let text is equal to hello world. So if you want to check whether in this text this pattern is matching, then I can check console.log pattern dot text I will pass it here. If I run this now, it is telling true. It means this pattern is matching here. Since we have provided I here, this is not case sensitive. It will become case insensitive. So it will print true. It is matching. If I remove this I, now it becomes case sensitive. It means capital H hello is not equal to small h hello. So it will print as false now. See, you can see here false, right? I will make it as case insensitive. We will discuss about the regular expression and pattern matching later. But let us understand that this is also considered as one of the non-primitive data type. Another non-primitive data type is map. Map is a collection of key value pair. But here keys can be anything. Unlike objects, key can be here, key can be of any type. For example, I can declare a map like let map equal to new map. This is a map object. I can add elements to this map dot set. I can even use a boolean as a key, true, boolean key value, right? You can also use map dot set. You can use a string also as a key, for example name Raj, something like this. So if I print now console dot log map, you can see it has printed this map here, right? Key value pair. Another non-primitive data type is set. It is a collection of unique values. It does not allow duplicators. Set does not allow duplicate values. For example, I will declare here let set equal to new set dot add of 1. If I do again set dot add again 1. If I try to print here console dot log set, here we have added 1 2 times, but it will have only one time. If I run this now, you can see. So let me for easier understanding, let me add some other value. Let test, again I will add a test here. If you run again now, you can see here set is showing only one element here. Let me clear and rerun again. You can see set is showing only one element here, set 1 text, only one time it is added. Similarly, you can add different types of values to set. We will discuss about the set and various methods in detail later. Another non-primitive data type is weak map. It is similar to map, but keys must be objects. For example, let weak map is equal to new weak map. Here weak map dot set. Here this key, for example key 1, this should be an object, and here you can have a data for key 1, but here key 1 should be object. I can declare a key 1 here before it. Let key 1 object we can declare before this. For example, let key 1 equal to, within the double quote we can say something like id 1, something like this. So this is object key 1. Now this object will be used as a key here. That is the difference here. It is similar to map, but key should be object here. Later on we will discuss in more detail about each of these non-primitive data types, but let us understand now what are different types of non-primitive data types available in JavaScript. Another type of non-primitive data type is weak set. It is similar to set, but only stores objects. It is similar to set, but only stores the object. For example, if I declare here let weak set equal to new weak set, here if I need to add here weak set dot add, I cannot add a normal value here, for example test, something like this. It need to be an object here. For that I can create here let obj something obj1 equal to, you can add some object here, for example name Raj, something like this. So this object can be used here as a parameter for this function. It means it stores only objects. That is the difference between set and a weak set. Weak set only stores the objects. You need to create an object and then you need to use that object here, right? Weak map also. Here key should be object. Key 1 is an object here that we have created here. We will discuss about each of these non-primitive data types later in detail along with the different types of functions. So far we have understood various types of non-primitive data types. Here we have understood that object stores a key value pair, and then we have understood that array is a list of values, ordered list of values, and function is a block of code and it can be called to do a particular task, and date used to print the specific date and time. Similarly, regular expression is another non-primitive data type which can be used for pattern matching. And again we discussed about a map, which is again key value pair with different types of keys. Any type of keys allowed here. Set is a collection of unique values. It does not allow duplicators. And weak map, it is similar to map but keys must be objects here. So we have created an object and use it as a key. And weak set is similar to set but only stores the object. So we have created the object and we have used that object to add to the weak set, right? So we have understood, so far we have understood different types of non-primitive data types with examples. Also previously we have discussed in detail about the primitive data types as well. Earlier in the course we have discussed about the primitive data types. Now we have discussed about the non-primitive data types. Let us understand the difference. Here primitive data types are stored in stack, that is a stack memory, whereas non-primitive data types are stored in heap memory. And primitive data types are immutable, you cannot change its value. We have discussed that along with an example earlier in the course. These non-primitive data types are mutable, you can change its value, and primitive data types create as a new copy, but non-primitive data types shares the reference, right? These are some of the important difference between primitive and non-primitive data types in JavaScript. Thank you for watching.